Hi, I'm Joseph Cook, and welcome to the part two in the storybook. Tonight, this is the part two in this book called A Horn for Lewis. Yesterday, we began the part one. We have began the part one in this book, page 1 to page 49. And tonight, the part two in this book, A Horn for Lewis, will be starting on page 50. Chapter 5. A Jar of Ore. Lewis sat in the wagon, waiting for Alice to come out of the pawn shop. What was keeping him? Lewis wishing for his time home to pass the time. When he realized he didn't have a time home, he didn't have any horn at all. Lewis felt blue. He felt like playing the blues. There was magic in the blues. His mother, May Ann, always said the blues was sad music. The blues was sad music, but it had the power to take sadness away. It was true. Wherever Lewis felt bad, he always played himself some blues. The blues made him feel better without his horn. Lewis couldn't play the blues, but he could still sing them. He hummed in slow and sad while he waited for the words to come. Wish I had a real horn. I blow it loud and strong. Wish I had a real horn. I blow it loud and strong. I blow it in the daytime. I blow it all night long. Where's Alice? What's taking him so long? Lewis said. Rosie shook her head. She didn't know either. Lewis sang a few more voices. They made him feel a little better, but not even the blues could fix what was wrong. Lewis needed a real horn. How could he go back to playing a tin horn after playing on a real cornet? Rosie nodded and flicked her tail as if she understood. Alice came out of the pawn shop. He carried a gunny sack on his back. Alice slung the sack in the back of the wagon. He climbed up to sit next to Lewis. No horn? Lewis asked. No horn, says Alice. The man's the man's gobbling a thief. He wanted $8 and he would not calm down. $8 for a beat up piece of junk. Beat up piece of junk. Forget about it. Don't worry, Lewis. We'll find a horn for you. And when we do, it will be a real horn, not something that looks like it fell off the junk wagon. What's in the sack? Lewis asked. And as the man was he had in the back of the store. Alice explained. Maybe he has some broken instruments or poor instruments that were too beat up to play. He gave me that whole sack for a dime. Let's head back to the junk lot. I want Pot to take a look. Pot can't fix anything. If we can get those instrumentals to play, we can sell them ourselves. Louis wondering if there were any horn pieces in that sack. Maybe Paul Kosowski could put them together to make a horn for him. That would be better than nothing. It only took an hour to get back to the junk lot. Alice handed on Paul Kosowski the sack from the pawn shop. He spoke to Pot in another language. The language was Ledis. Ledis. It was the language that Karski spoke in Russia. The, the Karski family. The Karski family lived in Russia before they came to America. Louis did not understand what Alice and his father were saying. He did not speak like this, but he knew a few words. Alice had taught him. Shadow meant hello, tells meant troubles, mentor me, menzel meet, good luck. I could sure use some menzel, Louis grumbling to himself. Today, all I'm getting to is instruments. Not even the silver dollar in the his pocket could cheer him up. Louis helped Alice unload the wagon. Then they turned around and started back through the shady streets to collect more junk. Louis and Alice brought the wagon home in dust. Morris unhitched the was and led her to the whole stall. Louis and Alice unloaded the junk. After they finished, they washed their hands and faces at the pump. Alice combating his hair. Louis straightening his jacket. They entered the house together. Louis has never seen the house so brightly lit. Mama Kowalski stood at the stove. She wore a snow white apron, a white tablecloth, a white tablecloth covered the table. She had set out the best china plates, along with the best glasses and silverware, a brass criganella with 9 branches stirring in the window. It had two unlit candles, two inert candles. Louis had never seen anything like it. The polished brass gleaming like $25 trumpet at the pawn shop. Mama, Pop, and Morris greeting Louis. Happy Hanukkah. We are so glad you can celebrate Hanukkah with us. This looks like Christmas, but without a tree, Louis said. Is Hanukkah some kind of Jewish Christmas? People sometimes think so because the two holidays come at the same time of the year. Morris explained. Hanukkah celebrates a time long ago when a foreign king ruled the Jewish land. He would not let our people worship God in our own way. He forces us to bow down to idols. He killed anyone who refuses, but a hero rose up. His name was Jeddah Maskabi. He drove the foreign soldiers out of our land and won back our freedom. Alex continued. He told Louis, every Hanukkah we light the monol, the special candle holder that you see in the window. We light so we will never forget the miracle that happened in those days. When General Massacre entered the Holy Temple, he found there was only enough ore to light the great monol for one day. But God made a miracle. That little bit of ore lasts for 8 years and 8 nights. I mean, I mean, that little bit of ore lasts for 8 days and 8 nights. Then had come the mellow his branches for 9 candles. Louis asked, when is the seventh candle? Says Morris. We'll use it to light the others. Tonight is the first night of Hanukkah, so so we use the silver candle to light our candle, says Alex. Tomorrow is the second night, so we light the 2 candles and the silver candle. On the last night, we'll light 8 candles, plus the silver candle. Got it? I dig, said Louis. You must always remember these things Lewis, says Pop Kowalski. Homicons teaches us important lessons. Never give up. Keep on trying. You never know what you can do until you try. That's what my mother, Mayanne, always tells me, says Lewis. The mother must be a very wise woman. I would like to meet her someday, said Mama. Kowalski. Now let us all gather around to light the mirror. Kowalski lit the silver candle. He passed the candle to Lewis so he can light the candle for the first night. The family joined hands with Lewis and said the blessings together. It's time for presents, Morris said. There were presents for everyone. Alex and Morrison got two colorful skilled neckties. neckties. Don't we look like sports? They laughed. Mama Kowalski got a lace Hannah Hannah Punk Kowalski got a new brass chain for his pocket watch. The biggest present was for Lewis. What is it? Lewis asked. Open it and find out, says Alex. Lewis ignited the ribbon around the box. He lifted the lid. Inside was a cognac and bit dented in places, but shining like the motor with a glare of polished brass. Where did you get this? Lewis asked. Remember that beat up old horn from the pawn shop? Says Alex. I'm bothering with the man why you weren't in the wagon. He let me have the horn for $5. When you drive a junk wagon, you don't have to wrangle it. That's what was in the sack. I wanted it to be a special surprise for Hunk Colin. I wanted you to have Hunk Colin a present for all of us, and it is for all of us. Morrison hammering out most of the dentist's nails. Pop ran hot oil through the horn to clean it out, and Mama polishing it until it shined. And what a job that was! Don't ask, Mama explained. How does it sound? Play it, Lewis. We want to hear you. The chorus guy spoke at once, but Lewis couldn't play. He couldn't even speak. He felt sick to his stomach. He wanted to have Will Horn on his own more than anything else in the world, but not like this. The chorus guy felt sorry for him. They didn't believe he would ever have Will Horn unless they gave it to him. Lewis remembered his mother's words. We work hard, and we get by. We always pay our own way. I'm sorry, I don't want this. Lewis it. He put the cognac on the table and walked to the door. Lewis, come back. What's wrong? Alex called after him. Lewis didn't answer. He went out into the night without looking back. Chapter 6. I talked to Rosie. Lewis didn't go far. He went to the little stable at the end of the junkyard. Rosie put her head down when she saw Lewis. He scratched her behind the ears. What am I going to do, Rosie? Lewis asked her. Alex spent $5 buying that horn. Mama, Pop, and Morris must have spent all the afternoon cleaning it up. I know they want me to be happy, but I can't keep it. I feel like a bum, like a poor old tramp standing on the corner with his hand out, begging. Rosie nodded her head up and down, as if she understood. The car sky are gonna be real mad at me. I don't blame them. I cost them a lot of money and made them feel bad. They'll fire me, most likely, and then I won't have a job. That goes the dollar I bring home every day. May Ann only makes 50 cents. How are we gonna live on that? Ugh, Boise. I feel like crying. I lost the best job I ever had. I don't have a teen horn. I don't have a real horn. I don't have a job. All I got is the blues. Rosie shook her head back and forth as if to say, nope, you're wrong. Huh? Huh? Louis snorted. Lord horse, what do you know? She knows a lot, that horse. More than you think. Louis turned around. Pop Kowalski stood in the table door. Louis looked around for a place to hide. Don't run away, Louis, Pa said. That's not how you solve the problem. That's not how you solve the problem. No matter what happens, you're not going to lose your job. I promise. Just hearing those words made Louis feel better. So tell me why you don't want that because so tell me why you don't want that beautiful horn. Pop Kowalski continued. Because it's charity, Pop. Because it's a bangling. Because it's bangling, said Louis. I feel poor. I feel ashamed. I need to earn the money to buy my own horn. I don't care if it takes forever. That's the only way it will ever really be mine. Podkowski novel. Now I understand. Let me tell you a story, Louis. Our family left Russia with nothing. We arrived in America with no more than the clothes we want. We didn't have jobs. We didn't have money. We couldn't even speak English. We need help. Who can help you? Who help you? Louis asked. Some very kind people. Pop explaining. They help us get a start in America. They're loaning us money to come to New Orleans and buy the junk lot. They gave you money? Louis asked. Don't didn't that feel like bargaining? No, said Pop. It wasn't bargaining, it was a loan. We didn't want a gift. We were just like you. We wanted to work hard. We only needed some help. So we borrowed the money. Now we pay it back, a little every month. In a few years, the loan will be paid and the junk loan will be ours. The money we pay back is used to help us poor families. Around and around it goes. Someone help us. We help someone, us, like you. I don't need any help, Louis said. Everybody needs help sometimes, Pop said. The hard part is knowing how to do it right, to do it right. That's where we slip up, but we can't fix that. I think I get it. I think I get it, Pop, Louis said. That home costs $5. I'll pay you back with money from my raises. 50 cents a week until the horn is mine. It won't be a charity because I'm paying for that horn myself. I only need a little help to get started. It's a deal, said Pop. He and Louis shook hands. Louis took the silver dollar out of his pocket. Here's my first payment, Pop. He said, no, I only owe you $5. I owe you $4. That horn will be yours before you know it, says Pop. My own horn, thought Louis. I have a real horn at last. Chapter 7. Sweet Dreams. Lewis returned to the homicide party with Pop Kowalski. Lewis, I'm really sorry that Alice began. Everything's fine, said Pop. We solved the problem together. Lewis is going to pay us back for the horn. We have Will Horn and we have Lewis. So let the party begin. Lewis didn't know what to say. He couldn't find the right words, but music didn't need words. Lewis knew how to say how he felt with music. He felt with music. He raised the shining cognac to his lips and started playing the Hanukkah song that the family sang together. Well, I was enjoying Lost Dawson, Last New Constant Dawson, whatever it is. Whatever it is. The notes pouring from Lewis, the notes, the notes pouring from Lewis' horn. They filled the room with the light of the candles. All the love and joy that Lewis felt for the Kowalski shined through his music. Lewis had a real horn. All he wanted to do was blow. The Kowalski clapping in their hands. That's wonderful, Lewis. Play for us some more. Lewis did. He played the music he knew best. He played the music he loved. He played the blues for the streets and alleys of Storyville. Lewis thought about the blues as he played. The music seemed to say, "You can knock us down. You can push us back. You can make us so try. You can knock us down. You can push us back. You can make us so tired we can hardly stand. But you can never make us give up." The blues was a lot like that. Little job award in a Hanukkah story. Nobody thought it could burn so long, but it did. What a party that was! Lewis thought it was more fun than Christmas. He ate and ate. Mama Kowalski worried that he would not get enough. Every time Lewis emptied his plate, she filled it. Lewis ate lettuce, hot from the pan, liquors, all potatoes, pancakes, des- delicacies with applesauce and sour cream. He ate ben, he ate Benazes are warm pancakes. Mama Kowalski fried them with cottage cheese and raspberry jam. Louis ate them as fast as Mama Kowalski could put them on his plate. "Slow down, Louis. Say something for the rest of us," says Alex. But Mama Kowalski said, "Louis can eat as much as he wants. I want him to eat so he will grow up to be a big and strong. He has to be big and strong to blow his new horn." Everybody ate until they could eat some more. Everybody ate until they could eat no more. Then they cleared the table. Boris and Alice showed Louis how to play the regular game. The winning little Ganado came out every time Louis spun the little top. Louis had a wonderful time at the Hanukkah party. He forgot to look at the clock. It was already late when he started for home. "We'll see you tomorrow, Louis. Happy Hanukkah," the Cars guys said. "What a day it has been." Louis walked on through the streets of Storyville. In the morning, he had carried a tin horn in his pocket. Now he cradled a shining cognac in his arms. He had a real horn at last. Storyville had come alive after the sun went down. The streets were filled with sports and their ladies out for a good time. The clubs were jumping. Music was everywhere. Jazz, blues, ragtime. Lewis wanted to be a part of it. He lifted his horn and blew it all the way to the door of Pete Leather's place. King Olivia was blowing up a storm. The melody flew out the door and dancing around the street. Lewis picking it up with his horn. He stretching it out, twirled it around, and blew it right back. The music stopped. Lewis looked up. Joe Olivia stood in front of him. He looked angry. Boy, was that you blowing the horn? Joe Olivia asked. Uh-huh. Louis stammered. He did not know what to say. He didn't want Joe Olivia, the king of Storyville, to be angry with him. Joe Olivia smiled. He opened his mouth and laughed long and hard. Then he held out his hand to shake hands with Louis. "You're a good boy," Joe Olivia said. "Keep practicing. Come see me Sunday. Come see me when you get real good. I'll let you play in my hand. I'll let you play in my band." Louis went all the way home. Joe Olivia had shook his hand. Joe Olivia said he was good. Joe Olivia, the king. What will man and Mama Lucy said to that? He could not wait to tell them about everything that had happened to him today. But it would have to wait for some other time. It was late. May Ann and Mama Lucy had already gone to bed. There was some sound asleep. Louis did not want to wake them up, but he was so excited. He had to tell somebody, "I got a new horn, a real horn." And Joe Olivia said I was good. Louis whispered into the darkness. He got into bed and closed his eyes. That night, Louis had a wonderful dreams. They all came true. That's the end of the part two in this book. Now, what I'm doing right now is read author's note in this book. When some of the events of this story are factual, most are based on accidental episodes in the life of Trumpio Louis Armstrong, 1900 through 1971, one of the world's greatest musicians and a key figure in the department of jazz. In the course of his lifetime, Mr. Armstrong told several differences and condensed stories of how he acquired his first horn. My sources for this story is an unpublished memoir written in 1969. Louis Armstrong plus the Jewish family in New Orleans, Louisiana, the year of 1907. The full text of the memoir can be found in Louis Armstrong in his own words, selecting writings, Oxford University Press, 1999, edited by Thomas Brothers. Other recommended books about Louis Armstrong are Leonard's Belgreen's Louis Armstrong in a Sternigan Life, Broadway Books, 1998, and Louis Armstrong's Photographing Center House, My Life in New Orleans, The Carpal Press, 1986. Also highly recommended mystery is Jazz, and filmed by King Barnes, PBS Home Video 2000. New Orleans has several outstanding horn players. Joe Olivia wasn't acknowledged as king until he moved to Chicago in 1918, but Louis always regarded him as the best of the best. Joe Olivia has always been my inspiration and my idol. No trumpet player ever had the foul that Oliver had. Man, he could really punch a number. Louis Armstrong in his own words. And Glossary. New Orleans has always been an international city where gumball language is spoken. In central neighborhoods, Louis will have her friends in town, Spanish or German more frequently than English. Lindes, Lindes is a language spoken by Jewish people, like the Karaske. Ukrainians came from Central and Eastern Europe. Lindes is written with Hebrew letters, although it is mostly German, with many Hebrew and Cyrillic words. I'm gonna skip this right here. About the author, Eric and Cameron grew up in Brooklyn, New York, loving the music of Louis Armstrong. We live a few miles away in the neighborhood bar in Queens, New Orleans. In Queens, New Orleans is one. Let me start this again. Eric and Cameron grew up in Brooklyn, New York, loving the music of Louis Armstrong. We live a few miles away in the neighborhood bar of Queens. New Orleans is one of his favorite cities. To research this book, he traveled to New Orleans to track down the streets and neighborhoods that appear in the story. Eric Cameron is the award-winning author of several children's classics, including Animal in a Mars Cover Walk and Hellshill and a Hubble Goblins. He and his wife, Doris, live in Port Norton. And that's the end of this book, the part two of this book called A Horn in Lewis. A Horn for Lewis. I hope you enjoy reading this book as much as I do, and I did finish it. It was a great book to read. Until then, this is Joseph Kurt. I will be seeing you next time. Until then, God bless you with love, peace, and joy.